We're back, baby. The Protect You podcast, episode 2, going out to the wider audience now. Special thanks to all of y'all that have added in and helped out get the subscriber count up on the YouTube channel, as we are simulcasting live on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Jay, it feels good to be moving up in the world.
It does, bro. And this studio, this beautiful studio that we are in right now, and it's still a work in progress, right?
Yes,
you know, obviously,
very much so.
I wanted to push a hard start date of August the 5th. It was just important to get, you know, some momentum going into the upcoming football and volleyball season.
Oh, for sure.
And but you know, just looking, we just got a big delivery. I don't want to give it away.
That'll be a tease for next week.
Yeah, but I
for
mean,
sure.
but I just can't wait to you know, get this set up and complete the studio. But all in all, I love what we've built thus far, and it's gonna I think be a really big thing. And in order for this podcast to really pop, you got to be in something nice
for
like
sure.
this, so.
For sure. Yeah, we've laid out all the equipment, all the nice stuff that we've had here in our, we like to call the hand-built studio here at Studio J, that we're calling it.
I like that. Studio J.
New offices, but you know, it was a great work in progress. It was a lot to be working towards, but it was, I think the fruits of our labor have really started to come together here.
Yes, Jake. No, they definitely have. You know, a lot of hard work, you know, going behind the scenes. I mean, obviously, we had to come with Computer Jesus, right?
Of course. There was no other choice.
There's no other choice. You can't do a podcast without Computer Jesus, right? One day, maybe he'll show his face, but we did give him a mic.
That we did.
So that way he can jump in on the show on occasion and fact check us, correct us. But, you know, just all the team behind the scenes helping build this, and it's exciting, man.
Yeah, and a big shout out I'd like to take personally to our social media folks over there at Cinco Creative. Rob, Joel, y'all have done an excellent job. Couldn't have done this without you. But with that said, Jay, I think we got to roll into action that you and I and our scout BJ Scoggins had.
Director of Player
Development. Director of Player Development. I got to put respect on his title.
You got to give respect on
BJ, because that man was a trooper. That man was a trooper over this weekend.
Watching right now with the earpiece in. He's like,
don't get me wrong.
That gummit, Jake.
But a 3-man trip made its way out to beautiful, scenic Ruston, Louisiana over the weekend, where we had the first ever Protection United Expo. Jay, I'm speechless as to what we were able to pull off on that. I was a little anxious going into it. I'm not going to lie to you. It got to me, but I think with the way things played out, I'm happy that we were able to pull it off.
Yeah, me too. I mean, as you can see, man, we had a room packed full of high school kids. They're all in Louisiana, right? And NIL's allowed, right, in that state. So we were able to basically go on the road and not only talk to those young, you know, 3, 4, 5-star athletes, but also meet with the parents and talk with them, kind of give them more of a higher education in regards to the new world of NIL, right? In their case, it's already happening, you know, on the high school level. And it was just great, man. You know, really good people, you know, really on that Ruston, you know, Monroe area, a lot of talent, a lot of rich talent in that area. I think that was probably the most surprising thing for me, was that you got to actually see all that talent in one area.
Yes.
But it was amazing. Last minute, you know, type deal. Big shout out to Coach JJ for setting that up. One of the top trainers in the nation, right? Young Bulls. Training and recruiting services, but you know, him wanting to do a strategic partnership with us, connecting us with the athletes that he is representing already, training, helping them, and wanting to bring us in to kind of be that final missing piece that he doesn't have in his current organization, which is someone that can handle the high level contracts, the negotiations of such, and helping them, you know, grow as they get ready to go into college, with getting the additional outside endorsement deals that some may already have. But also having those relationships that we currently have with the college coaches, and being able to help build something to where now mom and dad can only worry about, where's my baby going to be sleeping at night? Where's his washer and dryer? Is he going to be happy? Does he fit in? Is he going to get a chance to play? And we take that other part off, which is the very most emotional part of, what is my baby worth?
Yes, and we're making sure that they get their fair share. Because I think that was the biggest part of what that whole presentation was, right? Was being able to speak face to face, not just with the athletes, because we've done that a handful of times already, of connecting one-on-one with the athlete, but being able to pitch to the parent of what it is that Protection United does in the most important way possible, of being that voice, that advocate for them in a way that it eases the stress of being the parent, because they already do so much for those kids. They set them up with these training opportunities. They set them up with so much stuff outside of being themselves, right?
Right.
But now they have somebody that they can go to. They have somebody that they can rely on. And you and BJ especially did an excellent job of going up and having that extra conversation after the fact, right? Going up to them and ironing out some details. We had a great Q&A session. A lot of the parents got very involved in trying to make sure that they understood the full package, because admittedly it was a fair amount of information that we threw at them in that, I would say, what was that, maybe an hour-ish time span that we presented everything?
Yeah, I would say so. The Q&A probably carried over for another hour. I mean, but we fed them well.
Yeah, absolutely.
We fed them well.
We did. And shout outs to Madison for setting that up.
Yes, you did. Yeah, our executive assistant here, amazing. But we also got to give you a shout out too, Jake. You had the room fired up, brother. When you got done with your spiel talking about how you can help people, build their brand, talk about being able to conduct themselves, in an interview, understanding how to answer a question and when to answer that question, taking your time versus just blurting something out, having to answer those difficult questions, right?
Yeah.
I mean, bro, you had me fired up. I was ready to sign up for the Jake Wilson speaking class because of what you did. That room.
I appreciate that, Jay. I never like to brag on myself. I never like to be, my biggest advocate in many ways, but to hear the, wrap up my part and then get my piece across, and then hear okay, from the audience, that was like, all right, I think we got him. I think we got him.
There it is. Well, no, but all in all, definitely a great experience to get to go up to Ruston, get an opportunity, like I said, to talk and meet, so many people, and the feedback has been phenomenal. I mean, just seeing all the emails and the text messages, the phone calls, people following up, wanting to learn more about Protection United, what we do here, and how we can be a true asset, right, to their sons. And I definitely feel that trip was worth it. I cannot wait to get up there again, right? I mean, as you see, there's Coach JJ on the screen, kind of talking that's the young man that, one of the guys that we're looking to sign with us, we talk with, and it's just going to be a really, really fun experience. And I love the fact that our first Expo went quite well.
Yeah, and just before we move on to this next piece here, what were your thoughts on the role that Coach JJ has played in this all, of how important he has been in terms of establishing that sentimental relationship with these guys, where on blind trust, he said, hey, we got this conference going on. Really appreciate it if y'all showed up, because it was not mandatory.
Right.
That was not a y'all need to be here or that's it.
Right.
We're done with y'all. It was very much this is an opportunity for y'all, completely free of charge for y'all to show up. If you can make it, awesome. If not, we can find a workaround.
Yeah, no. What Coach JJ is doing with these young men, there's a lot of great trainers all over the nation.
For sure.
But there are very few that are also being great mentors, right, to these young men. And the fact that he was able to get that many people to come in 48 hours of setting it up speaks high volumes of the relationships that he has built with his team and his guys. And I just love the fact that when you saw not only the kids come, but the parents, and then on top of that, they were fully engaged.
Yes.
It wasn't one of those deals of let me just come just so I can show face and do like a little checkbox. They were actually engaged. They wanted to be a part of it. Coach JJ had done a phenomenal job of, selling us right to them just to get them in the room. So, but yeah, all in all, we see this, that as everyone's journey is different, you still need to have that mentorship, right? Which is what we, also excel at here at Protection United. Having a good trainer as well is important, but also having a guy that can help connect the dots. And the biggest thing that, I loved about Coach JJ, or love about him, I should say, is he didn't let pride and ego get in the way. Like a lot of these guys we see, they are more about themselves and they want to make it about themselves. You can go on social media and see, all these other guys that are either doing things like us or doing things their own way, but they won't recognize what their limitations are, right? And understand that it's okay if everyone stays in their lane if we truly are doing what's best for these young men and young ladies, right? I'm not a trainer, right? So for me to go out and try to train kids on how to cut this and do that, I would be doing them a disservice, right? And I think Coach JJ, obviously a few other trainers that we're working with, they understand like I'm good at this and this. Protection United is good at this. Let's come together and be great, right? When we come together and help, once again, do what's best for these athletes and not what's best for themselves.
Because what I think was really impressive about that too was, one, the quick turnaround of, you called me on, man, what was that Thursday morning, and it was, Jake, what are your weekend plans? I haven't thought that far ahead, Jay. Why do you bring that up? Pack your bags, we're going to Louisiana on Saturday. Cool, I guess. Let's do it. So I can't imagine, being the parent role of that. Of now I got to take my baby all the way up to Ruston.
Right.
For many of them, it was a decent drive, and then we had an Arkansas visit as well come in from that. So I can't imagine what that must have been like for them. Of let's get this show on the road and let's get moving, but. It speaks high volumes to both the parents and the athletes to just seemingly on a whim. Right. Let's make this jump. Let's put some faith in not just Coach JJ, but in what these guys are trying to sell us on.
Right.
And it speaks high volumes of what Coach JJ has built there.
Yes.
In terms of what those guys offer, because there are many differences in between states as to what it is that Protection United could offer them. Whether that's the mentorship role, which is seemingly universal, of making sure that they have the right speech coaching, make sure that they have, the ability to speak in front of a camera and a microphone, which is a lot harder than we might make it seem to look. Although we may stammer and we may stumble every now and then, it's not easy to get a fresh body out here that can try and make this look natural. So that mentorship aspect is seemingly universal, right? But in between the lines of state boundaries, there are certain things that Protection United has to be wary of, whether that's the NIL at the state level or the compensation that the athletes can get right away.
Yeah, Jake. And, that's a great point. And when we're looking at a situation of where you have pretty much every state in the nation is allowing kids, and let me rephrase because I don't want anyone to get a misconception. Every state allows NIL. However, it is based upon what regulation that you are under or jurisdiction. So in the case of Texas, UIL trumps what the United States has allowed in regards to high school, which is why the state of Texas does not allow NIL for high schoolers. And it's crazy to me. I'm just going to be honest with you. When you're looking at the five Mecca states, in my opinion, where the high school talent just comes out and grows, right? You got Florida, you have California, you have Texas, you have Georgia, right? And listed my fifth one. So is it Florida, Texas, California, Georgia?
Yeah, I might throw Louisiana.
Okay, Louisiana.
I might throw Louisiana,
right? So you know what? The big four, Pac 4, right? Excuse me, the Power 5 is coming back. Mm-hmm. Why not have the Power 5 states, right? Sure. So Louisiana's in there as well. Texas is the only state that does not offer NIL. I don't understand the rationale behind it. I know that most people think, well, they're having issues already with people wanting to move. And those other states have those same issues.
Exactly.
Right? I don't want to hear about a money thing. There's plenty of money in California, Louisiana, Georgia, Florida, right? So I don't grasp the concept of why the great state of Texas wants to slow down and hinder these athletes from being able to go be compensated. Why are you allowed to go work at a Chick-fil-A? Why are you allowed to go work at your local academy or your Dick's Sporting Goods? You can go do that right? But then you can't go work for a clothing company and be a model. You can't go work for a car dealership and help sell a car from the essence of them using your name, image, and likeness.
Yeah.
I don't quite understand why Texas is still slow to the plate in allowing these kids to knock these home runs.
The main caveat that I've seen, and the one that I do know, is NIL for high schoolers is permitted in Texas so long as they are 17 years or older. And that whole argument of should you receive NIL money and compensation for minors is, I think, the main argument that ties it up.
But just so you know, though, with that state, you're 100% correct. Governor Abbott did pass that. But however, Jake, that's only for the schools that can pay to keep these athletes committed. There's still limitations on that.
For sure. And it does seem odd of the handful of states that do as opposed to don't allow it. Like, for some reason, Alabama is also on that list.
Yeah.
One of the powerhouse college football states, at least.
Correct.
Right? Where we've seen it multiple times where if things are happening on the college level, it's slowly going to start trickling down to those high schools and that age demographic of the guys that are going to be making that jump to the next level, where we've already seen a bunch of incredibly talented guys from the state of Alabama come through. But unless they are committing to Alabama, which has lost a decent amount of steam since Nick Saban has departed, or they're really homegrown into Auburn, they're leaving the state to go find opportunities elsewhere. So it kind of messes up that opportunity of dominating and recruiting well within your home state, where everyone talks about the programs trying to win their demographic, right? Where they talk about Texas and Texas A&M. You have to dominate recruiting in the state of Texas because there's so many great athletes from this area.
Right.
But if you're not allowing those opportunities to trickle down from the college level into the high school level, those high schoolers are often going to get dollar signs in their eyes and say, well, why would I stay here when I can go to California and get paid right now?
Right. Well, and that's the thing, is that you don't even have to go that far anymore. I mean, you have the two bordering states.
That's right. Yeah, you can just go to Louisiana
or Oklahoma, and you're right there in the hotbed of it. And I challenge anybody, right? So if you're watching the show, if you have more insight, if you're a part of the votes and you voted no to it, please reach out. You can email us at podcast@protection-united.com. Computer Jesus will more than gladly connect us with you. We would love to have you come on the show, right? And, and like, come debate against us. I would say maybe more so myself. Yeah, I know Jake's a little bit more neutral here with things, but I personally feel that it's just doing a disservice to these athletes because they already work so hard. I mean, the thing that people don't understand is that to be great and to actually go earn a college scholarship, to go play collegiately, you can't just show up at the mandatory practices and on game day. Like, do you know how many athletes have 3, 4, 5 different trainers? They don't have time to actually go work. So if they have an opportunity to go to a clothing store that's in that school's district, local mom and pop store, and they can say, I can give you 3 hours and I'll model your clothes, your apparel, and we'll do a photo shoot, a video shoot. Everybody wins in that. The athlete gets compensated. But guess what? Now that local company that has one of the top players from that local high school is now running a 6-month campaign on their social media pages of saying, hey, wear this apparel, buy this apparel. Now all of a sudden they have time to come for a 2-hour meet and greet. To where now that local company can then take their apparel. They can then turn around and say, come into the store, buy apparel, and then get so-and-so to sign the apparel for you. How is that not a win for everybody? And on top of that, how is that not legitimate compensation for a high school athlete, which is, once again, no different than them going and cooking some Jesus chicken at Chick-fil-A?
No, I definitely see your point. I was always on the train of thought of NIL was a little late to the game getting to the college level, right? Of these are athletes that are generating millions upon millions of dollars for their programs, right? These are the people that they don't have time, like you're saying, where we talk about the differences between a high school and a college regimen.
Right.
College, that's your whole livelihood. if you're trying to find a way to make ends meet at the college level and you're a student athlete, you're going to be working graveyard shift after graveyard shift. And even then, you're probably going to have to cut that short to go work out in the morning.
Right.
I always just find it difficult to get behind the high school age of it from a personal standpoint of we think about the money that they're generating, right? For the school.
Yep.
Things like the booster club. That gets eaten away because now you're talking about having to split up. Does football, if you buy a ticket to a football game and you say that money generated needs to be divvied up, how much of that percentage now goes to marching band? How much of that percentage now goes to the color guard? How much of that goes to the cheerleaders?
Right.
Because not all of these programs are treated the same. I come from a background of both of my parents being high school coaches, and they've seen those discrepancies behind the scenes of football gets all the love. They're the ones that get the shuttles. They're the ones that schedule these outrageous games of driving out to El Paso to go and play a random team. But if the basketball team tries to do that, there's no money in it for them. There's no way for them to make those ends meet. So it's hard for me to get behind the NIL at the high school age because I always just see it so much as it's being divvied up unequivocally, which we do see that at the college level, right? Where we know that football is the main generator of revenue for basically every program in the nation. But at the high school level, where there's public funds coming into it for the public schools, at least, I just feel like it's too messy.
And let me push back a little bit on that because now you're starting to muddy the waters up a little bit because we're talking about two different revenue streams, right?
For sure.
I'm not saying on the high school level that anyone needs to get the rev share, right? And that's what you're, referring to. No, money at a game, money they earn at a golf tournament, fundraisers, right, et cetera, et cetera. No, I'm not saying that athletes should be compensated for that. I am speaking on as an individual, right? As an individual, DJ Lagway should have been allowed to get NIL outside endorsement deals from every business in the city of Willis. Justin Williams should have been able to get money in the Oak Ridge area. Samara Coleman should have been able to get money in Grand Oaks, right? In that area, right? And the companies that support, those companies that you see on those banners, proud sponsors, they should have been able to do individual deals with them because at the end of the day, we can call it what it is. I'm not saying that Coach Miller had done a phenomenal job at Willis and last season was phenomenal, right? Led by Jalen Mickens, right? And company, they ran it back when people didn't think they would be able to. However, when DJ Lagway was a quarterback at Willis and every game was sold out, who were they coming to see? That is what I'm saying. So in turn, if DJ could come in and do a mom and pop store, and we talk about caring about the student athletes, right? We talk about support local. How many times do you see that flyer go out?
Buy local.
Right, buy local, support local, all the things. Wouldn't more people go to a restaurant in Willis, Texas?
I don't.
If they could meet DJ Lagway, get an autograph. All I'm saying is that we're stopping things and it doesn't make sense to me. And I don't understand the reason behind it. We need to, here in the great state of Texas, and I love Texas. I'm born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee. I tell all my family, y'all come see me here. I love Texas. I love it. Greatest state, in my opinion, to live in. However, with that being said, we've got to get the purists to get their heads out of what, and they have got to open their eyes and look at the bigger picture. Everything is regulated now. It's controlled, and they're not going to have issues with vetting this out. It's go see what they're doing in Florida. I get Texas does not want to go look what California's doing. There's always going to be, but however, but Florida and Texas, for the most part, the same. No state income tax. Typically, people move and groove similarly, right, in those two states. So then why not go look how they're doing it? And just copy and paste that. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just put some new rims on that bad boy.
No, I'm not. I definitely see where you're coming from of the individual level, right? Which, my mistake for misinterpreting that of treating it similar to the collectives. And I think that might be a little bit of where some of that discrepancy comes from of the pushback behind NIL is it's going to turn all of these public schools, and especially those big public schools like a Duncanville, like a DeSoto, it might turn that into the idea of the
Or the
collectives.
Highland Park
Yes.
in Lake Travis, where there's a lot of money.
For sure.
I understand
For
that
sure.
side of it. Yes.
But to your point of if it's based on the individual level, where the star quarterback is able to go to a local mom and pop shop and sign that NIL, that dotted line, and work with them on a local deal, that makes sense to me because it doesn't seem all too different from somebody signing a contract to just work an hourly wage. And it's not like there's a drop in, how should I put this? A disparity in equality, right? Where I think a big contributing factor to why you do still see some negative pushback on NIL at the collegiate level, right, is the discrepancy between the male and the female athlete, where the female athletes, which are absolutely out there, make substantially less than the male athletes do on a per player basis, right? Where every single NCAA football player is getting their fair share of what they get in terms of royalties through whether that's the NCAA video games or through the TV licensing. Whereas you got to find a stud in the female circuit for them to really start generating that amount of pull. But to keep going here, of at the high school level, if you're a stud, you're a stud.
Right.
Where we could have easily seen Samara Coleman pulling in the same numbers that DJ Lagway was when she was at Grand Oaks. It speaks levels to, at the high school level, there would be more of, I feel like at least, a level playing field for both the female and the male athlete. The great female athletes are out there.
Right.
It's just a matter of who's looking.
Right. And you should know this too, Jake. And I'm glad that you brought up about the female athletes. Are you aware that there's a young lady in the state of Maine? Okay. She plays field hockey.
Okay.
Field hockey. That's not even that big of a sport here. We know of the sport because of the Olympics, or we were just sports fanatics and it just crossed our desks.
Yeah, for sure.
However, she was making 6 figures, and I mean high 6 figures, and she had 2 endorsement deals in high school. It was a athletic gear, which women athletic gear is huge, right? And I understand that. You're not married yet. What do you you buy a pair of jeans and go buy your wife a pair of jeans, same pair of jeans.
Oh, trust me. I grew up with a younger sister.
Okay.
I know what that's like.
Right. So in turn, right, just so people know that this is not being made up. Feel free to fact check me, fans, go Google. But she had that, and she also had a maple syrup company. Everybody eats syrup.
Yeah.
Anyway, maple syrup is in that area. She was still able to go train. She was able to go do what she did and never got all beat. She wears athletic gear, obviously, in the games. And then probably gets up and eats pancakes.
Yeah, just say eat the pancakes with the maple syrup. Yeah.
Syrup, right? And to your point, right, Samara could have, garnered a lot of interest in that area. A lot of people would have wanted to do the same thing for Lagway, for Mickens, right? Obviously for Williams, right? Just here locally, but even on a national scale, right?
Yes.
Where
could you imagine the pull that Cooper Flagg would have had?
Exactly. Well, and he probably had it because he probably
growing up in that era.
I mean, we're just talking about the athletes that are in the state of Texas, right?
Yes.
Moise, Tankar, another highly rated receiver that's now University of Florida, but it's on the south side of Houston. What could he have done, right?
Yes.
Like his mom is texting me now, asking me to reach out. I'm serious. She literally just texted me and asked me to reach out to a local company for him. She couldn't do that last year,
Right.
When he was in high school, but she can do it now. That's what I'm saying, right? Opportunities are there. These companies would love to invest in these young athletes. And then I'll end it at this.
Okay.
You have another play here. These young companies, how can they compete with the big boys, right? When we're talking about the small companies, the small, and I hate saying mom and pop because we probably should come up with different words ourselves. That's not fair. But when you have just small local companies, they're not
the independent companies.
The independent companies, they're not national. How can they compete with them if they don't have the opportunity to build a relationship with these young athletes right now? Think about that. Right? We're a young sports agency, right? We're blessed to be able to go get younger athletes. We're able to get athletes because of Texas Ponds Elite, my select tackle football organization that we have here. Look at the relationships that I built.
Oh, yeah.
You know, half of our roster is on my wall that people can't see, right? Because I've been in these young men's lives since they were 8, 9, 10 years old. But what if that wasn't the case? And then in turn, when you build those relationships, you have to figure out a way to compete against the big boys. Same thing for these other companies. If a national player of the year can only get representation when he's in college, and then you have a local company, and then you have a bigger company that they're similar, we know the bigger contract is going to be with that bigger company. But if you're allowed to build a relationship now, when they are sophomore, juniors, seniors in high school, now you've built something to where they might not turn you down or shun you, and allow you to still be a part of their journey and continuously help you grow your business.
Now, I think that's the perfect place to leave it off at, of the elevating the athlete as well as those independent people, you know, people that in many cases they built this all from the ground up.
Mhm.
They didn't franchise, they have an idea,
Right.
and they saw it through to its finality.
Right.
I absolutely agree with that, of trying to help the little guys out and making sure that everyone gets their fair share from that perspective.
Exactly. And you know what? They might have to get off of the yacht, you know, after their senior year of school, because then they can't afford them anymore. But guess what? They still had an opportunity to represent them. They still were able to support the local hero.
Yeah.
Right. And most importantly, they were able to help build their company. And guess what, Jake? There's nothing wrong with being in that sector. If your sector of the world is, I can only afford to represent high school athletes, and then as they continue to grow, and then we get it down. Now we can go to the middle schools. Now we can start getting them at a younger age, cheaper value. If their budget of advertising and marketing is only X number of dollars, that fits in that world. So
it makes sense to me, Jay. You've definitely swung me a decent amount on being on the side of the advocacy for high school, for the high school age. Of my biggest gripe had always been is it legal, considering that it's minors? But then at a certain point too, you say, I mean, 16 years old, I was already working well by that point.
Right.
You get your car, and then the parents tell you, all right, get a job.
Right.
You need to find something like that. So, I mean, it makes sense as to why that leap would need to start sooner rather than later, especially in a state that's as deep in athletic talent. Forget football talent, athletic talent as the state of Texas is. It definitely seems like now needs to be the time.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
But with that wrapped up, we're going to carry over into a nice little mini segment that I like to call Where He From? Where He From? So, Jay, you brought up this idea while we were on the road on our way back from the Expo of trying to break down and discern where the best athletes from the 5 states that we had outlined of Texas, Florida, California, Georgia, and Louisiana were from.
Okay.
Some names more recognizable than others, but each of them were top flight talent from their home state. And we tried to hone it down into what we defined as the NIL era. And it was guys that were from the 2022 recruiting class all the way up until 2024, because those are your guys that are going to be already have that freshman year of college under their belt, and they'll be moving into their sophomore years. And that 2022 start point, that allows you to get some guys that are in the NFL that are starting to make those professional strides. So some might be recognizable, but Jay, do you think, can you give me just on a rough scale of 1 to 10, where do you think your confidence level is in being able to discern the home state of where these guys are? We've narrowed it down to 5, but
yeah, I'll be interested to see what you and Computer Jesus, picked up. But before we get too deep, man, one other point that I would like to make about this is where this all came from, right? As we went through, at least for myself, going through the select tackle football world, traveling all over the nation, all the way up to, you hear about guys in the NFL locker rooms, having these arguments of which state produces the best football talent, right? And, when you have Louisiana, when you have Texas, when you have Florida, Cali, Georgia, those Georgia boys are proud. They're proud of their talent.
Oh, yeah.
But it's always fun to see, who wins those arguments, who really is the true best state, right? When it comes. And it ebbs and flows. I think I saw something the other day where they talked about Texas has the most currently NFL guys, right? But that's cyclical, right? I mean, it's going to always be a rotation of talent. I think a couple states might have dropped off to where, I think the big three could now potentially be Texas, Georgia, Florida. However, Cali and Louisiana, I still think they're in the mix.
Yes, for sure. For sure. But as we break these down, all of these rankings were provided through 24/7 Sports' composite. So if you're looking to cross-reference these, look for the 24/7 Sports composite rankings, okay? Right. So starting us off, and Justin, I got you keyed in here for when our first athlete shows up out of the 2022 recruiting class.
Okay.
Jay Mickens, your first athlete is Travis Hunter. Where's he from?
Oh man, this is killing me. Okay,
you know where he's been.
Yeah, but where
the original point out of high school, where he from?
I am gonna go with the state of Florida.
Incorrect, Jay. We were looking for Georgia.
Oh, he's a Georgia boy?
Travis Hunter out of Collins Hill High School in Georgia. That's who we were looking for. The number one recruit in the 2022 class, number one cornerback out of it. The Jackson State commit, the biggest HBCU recruit in the history of HBCUs. You know his journey. He transferred to Colorado, follows Coach Prime, wins the Heisman, and is ultimately...
And he's from Georgia?
Yes. And
I thought when he went to the Jacksonville Jaguars, he was talking about getting to go home. Maybe he meant because of the world's largest cocktail party.
Potentially.
Does Georgia share the city of Jacksonville with the state of Florida?
I don't believe so. I think that's firmly in Duval County, Florida. But I see where your head's at. I see where your head is at. Because originally, too, he was committed to Florida State.
Yes, right.
Before he ended up flipping to Jackson State. But first one down, Travis Hunter, Georgia native.
Wow.
That leads us up to our second athlete, Jay Mickens. Next guest here on Mikel Williams. Mikel Williams. Jay, where he from?
Oh, man, let me see. I'm trying to look. He's got the ears, the forehead. It's kind of, the head is kind of round because I feel like.
Stone cold look.
Yeah, stone cold look. I feel like he's a Texan.
Texas, your final guess? Incorrect, Jay. We were looking again for Georgia. Georgia was the right guess. 2022, the top guys were from the state of Georgia. Mikel Williams, number 4 recruit in the 2022 class.
Yeah.
Second highest rated D lineman, only behind Walter Nolan, who set the world on fire, committed to A&M before he flipped to Ole Miss. But Mikel chose to keep his talents in his home state of Georgia.
Wow.
National champion, 2-time second team All SEC, and was the 11th overall pick by the San Francisco 49ers in this most recent NFL draft. 0 for 2, Jay.
I'm
0 for 2.
I'm terrible at this.
It's okay.
All right.
Here
we go.
We'll ease back into it.
Here we go.
Another national name. Jay, please tell me, Cade Klubnik, where he from?
Okay. I know I'm getting this one right.
Okay.
I know I'm getting this one right. I remember the state championship game. He went against Quinn Ewers in the Texas. So I'm going with Texas, high school, Texas, or whatever high school he went to. He wasn't like Travis, or maybe it was. However, Texas is my final answer, and I know I'm right. I'm about to be 1 and 2.
Jay, you are absolutely correct. Cade Klubnik, originally from Austin, Texas, went to Austin Westlake.
Austin
Westlake. Great history of athletes coming out of that area, and especially out of that high school. He was the number 6 recruit in the 2022 class. Number 1 quarterback. Clemson commit, like you saw. While he was at Austin Westlake, he was a 2-time USA Today Offensive Player of the Year.
Wow.
And then you add on top of that, he is now a 2-time ACC championship game MVP.
Yeah.
Looking to pay things off in what could potentially be his final year with the Clemson Tigers. But homegrown Texas boy.
All right.
Cade Klubnik. All right. So you're back on pace. You got a chance here to be at 500 with this next one.
Here we go.
Rounding out the 2022 recruiting class, Jay, Damani Jackson. Where he from?
Ooh, Damani Jackson.
He's got the waves going on the haircut.
No, that's a good cut. It's a good look.
But that could be anywhere.
That could be anywhere. I mean, he's bright skinned. Oh, and he went to Bama.
So you might. So talk me through your thought process
I'm
here.
Thinking, Saban's still there, so he's still recruiting all over the nation. He can get anybody that he wants. Louisiana
is your guess. You are now 1 for 3, Jay. We were looking for California.
Oh man,
California, out of another historically great high school, out of Mater Dei.
Oh wow.
Out of Santa Ana, California. He was the number 5 recruit in 2022, number 2 cornerback, only behind our man Travis Hunter. And I think the picture may have thrown you off there of him in the Bama jersey. He was a USC commit when he first joined on. It was a pro kid, then transferred to Alabama
that portal
in the 2024 season. So he saw Kalen DeBoer make the jump and decided to join him at the Crimson Tide. So,
man,
down to 1 for 3 right now.
Your Computer Jesus did a phenomenal job.
And we did our research, and I appreciate that, Justin, of the bait and switch there almost.
Yeah. I know,
pulling with the Bama jersey, but that's the nature of the transfer portal.
Computer Jesus,
be anywhere.
I don't know if you got your mic on, brother, but I don't know why you would do me like that.
You gotta make it fun.
Yeah, gotta make it hard for you, Jay. Some of these guys are softballs, and you may know where they're from, but we got to get you every now and then.
Hey, y'all are throwing me some curves and some breaking balls, and I'm struggling Joe Boo style at the plate now.
It's all right. It's all right. We've moved on from the 2022 class, so we're getting a little more recent.
That's good.
A little more recent here, okay?
Here we go. Come on.
So now, 2023 class, the most loaded class that we have of this little mini game that we're playing here.
Okay.
We start off with a heater. All right?
All right.
2023 recruiting class, Jay Mickens. Can you please tell me, Arch Manning, where he from?
Yeah. Oh, Arch. He's from the great state of Louisiana. He's from Louisiana, private school boy.
Yes, sir.
The whole family's from Louisiana.
Yep.
But none of them played in college in Louisiana.
That is correct. That is correct.
So
you had the great Archie Manning, kept the family local in Louisiana, drafted by the Saints. Cooper Manning, kid, chose to keep it in Louisiana. Isidore Newman was where Arch Manning was from.
That's right.
Number 1 recruit in the 2023 class.
I like it.
Number 1 quarterback. And then obviously the Texas commit looking to make some big strides heading into now his redshirt sophomore year, I believe is what this is technically at. Because he had redshirt year when he came on, redshirt freshman last year, played a lot of really great games, backing up Quinn Ewers, and actually started a couple of games as well. But
I'm looking forward to watching.
I'm looking forward to what that's going to be.
Lagway going at
That's going to be one heck of a battle in the swamp. 4th.
That's going to be a fun game. We got to make sure that you and I are at least somewhere we can watch the game.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. So
without
excited.
a doubt.
Yep.
All right, Jay.
2 for 3.
Yes, you got an opportunity here to get back to 500.
Let's get on a roll.
But I don't know if you're going to get this one. Okay. Jay Mickens, Keon Keeley. Where are he from?
Okay. I see a little Hawaiian descent in him. So he looks like he's closer to Hawaii than any other state is. So I'm going to go with California.
California, your guess incorrect, Jay. We were looking for Florida.
Hey, man.
Fresh out of Tampa, Florida. Berkeley Prep is where he went to high school out of.
Yeah.
Where he was recruited out of. He was the number 2 recruit in the 2023 class, number 1 edge guy, Alabama commit. And Jay, your thought on him being a little bit Polynesian, maybe Pacific Islander?
Yeah.
He calls himself half Viking because his mother is an immigrant from Norway.
Oh, I would not have gotten Norway out of that.
So that's okay. A little interesting there behind the scenes.
That is, Jay.
Keon Keeley. So you drop back now two picks below 500, and we got another interesting one. But I think your train of thought from the last guy might help you with this next one.
Okay.
So please tell me, Jay,
a little hint there, huh?
On your guess of Nico Amaliava, where he from?
Yeah, dog. Okay. I mean,
You know where he made his first stop in college.
we do know, and we know where
he's at now.
I'm going California. I feel that I'm right this time. Yeah, that ain't no Louisiana kid. That sure ain't no Georgia boy.
Okay.
We got to go Cali. Let's go Cali.
California, good guess on that one. He is from Downey, California, Warren High School. He was the number 3 recruit in the 2023 class. Second quarterback, only behind Arch Manning. Originally committed to Tennessee before he made the rounds through the transfer portal.
Terrible.
Eventually ended at UCLA, but supposedly he's been doing really well in training camps. He's looking like he's making some strides after the debacle that happened during the transfer portal ahead of this upcoming year.
Well, I hope he's doing better than his agent was in negotiations for him.
Sure.
For sure. Throw that out there.
But turning back to you, you're back on track.
Okay.
You're back to only one guess below 500.
Come on,
here.
baby.
One guess below 500.
Here we go.
Might be another easy one for you, depending on how much you've been keeping your ear to the ground. Can you please answer this, Jay?
Yeah.
Of DJ Hicks. Where is he from?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. So I'm getting a good vibe. I'm feeling some gumbo has been in this man's system.
Okay.
Little Creole action. I think he probably done said who they a lot of times, but then you see A&M and it makes you want to say Texas so bad.
But you do know that A&M has been dominating the recruiting boards.
Oh, I know. Man, I just feel like that this dude gets up on Bourbon Street and just dances with the guy playing the saxophone and the lady with the big umbrella. I'm going to go Louisiana.
Oh, Jay, you were so close.
No.
PD, Texas.
Oh.
Not only Texas, local boy out of Paytow High School.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Tough.
From out of Katy, Texas, number 6 recruit in the 2023 class, number 1 interior defensive lineman.
I guarantee you he's born in Louisiana.
It could be that. It could be the overflow of that being right here next to the border. But
it's okay.
You had the right train of thought. You had the right train of thought there, and an A&M commit.
I mean, I can smell the gumbo. I can smell it.
But his parents could be originally from Louisiana.
That's true.
You know, there's a lot of movement across the border there, especially with this Houston area. So it's all right, though. It's okay. You're sticking around this 1 to 2 guess below 500 mark.
3 and 5.
What's your, based on what you've already seen so far, what do you think your mark needs to be to say that this was a success for your guessing game?
I mean,
do you want to get back to that 500 mark above?
At this point, if I get to 500, I think I'll be happy.
All right.
So we got 4 more.
You're 2 down now. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left.
Okay,
6
so left.
You got an opportunity here.
All
really solid opportunity, and especially there is one gimme here.
Okay,
that
I want to
definitely help you out.
I need a gimme,
but they're down the line, so you got to get to that point. You got to get to that point. All right,
here we go.
Jay Mickens, can you please tell me Caleb Downs, where he from?
Dang, bro. This sucks.
We know
so
college. We know the college route. We know where he ended up.
Oh man.
But where he from, Jay?
I'm gonna go with the Sunshine State, Florida.
Florida is your guess. Incorrect, Jay.
Dang.
Just head a little bit north. You would have had him from Georgia.
Gummit.
He's from Hodgson, Georgia, Mill Creek High School. He was the number 7 guy in the 2023 class, the number 1 safety. Alabama commit. I remember that game that he played against Texas back when they were in Alabama's home stadium. SEC Freshman of the Year, but he has since transferred to Ohio State. He was an All-American and now a national championship with the Buckeyes.
I don't know why I thought about this game.
You're exposing yourself a little bit.
The idea was great. Driving back home, now I'm thoroughly regretting this.
I'm having a great time. I'm having a great time.
We're live too, so we can't cut it. We can't say cut. And edit and go back and redo.
Just cut the segment entirely. We'll keep it at a 25-minute long episode.
Cinco, do not post this on social media.
No, Rob, Joel, we will be clipping this up.
No.
Clip this up 100%.
We have so much better material from this episode than this crap.
Hey, we were told, get some more laughs, get some more engagement. And Jay, we've done just that.
Oh, bro, this is terrible. Jeez.
It's all right. We still
All
got
right.
plenty left here.
All right, here we go.
Plenty left. Rounding out the 2023
I'm not a quitter,
class.
Jake. I'm gonna finish.
Say, soldier through, man. Soldier through. We're 3 guesses below 500, but there's plenty of opportunity here. Plenty of opportunity. Okay. Rounding out the 2023 recruiting class. Will you please bring up Lance Hurd? Jay Mickens, where he from?
Oh man. Like I'm so all over the place now. I mean, okay. So we're
Big
gonna do
man.
process of elimination. Big boy.
Big man, offensive tackle.
Yep. So we're gonna take we're gonna take Cali off the table. I'm taking
Okay.
him off. Probably take Florida off. Now I'm down to 3 states.
Okay.
Man. Tennessee.
We've already had a lot of Georgia guys.
I
so
know.
far.
Yeah, I know. Oh man. Like, we haven't had a lot of Texas guys. We haven't had a whole lot
So
of
we've had-
Louisiana. have
We've
we?
had DJ Hicks
Yeah.
and Cade Klubnik are your 2 Texas
you're
reps
right.
so far.
You're right. Okay.
Arch Manning is the lone Louisiana native.
Yeah. Let's go Louisiana.
Louisiana,
I feel I'm right on this.
boxing it in, you are correct. Lance Hurd out of Monroe, Louisiana.
We were just up there.
Yes, we were. Out of Neville High School.
Okay.
Number 16 recruit in the 2023 class. 3rd best offensive tackle on the
Okay.
board. It was an LSU commit because LSU, they dominate that state of Louisiana.
Yeah.
SEC all-freshman team. However, he did transfer to Tennessee ahead of the 2024 season.
Okay.
So you're starting to build back up.
All
Starting to build back
Here
up. And we
go.
got
We're 2
and
below
now
500.
now we got the 2024 recruiting class.
Okay.
More recent guys. These have been your freshmen. They completed their freshman year this last season. So might be some more relevant names that you're associating with. All right.
Here we go.
First one is an absolute heater. The best freshman in the 2024 recruiting class. Number 1 recruit. Can you please tell me, Jay Mickens, where Jeremiah Smith is
Oh
originally
yeah.
from?
Oh yeah. I know. And if I got this wrong, Rob and Joel would kill me. He is from, without a shadow of a doubt, the Sunshine State. We're going with Florida. Lock it in.
And you are absolutely correct. Opelika, Florida is where he is from. Charminade Medona High School was where he was originally from. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Ohio State commit.
Yeah.
First team All Big Ten.
Okay.
Freshman and first team All American. Rose Bowl offensive MVP.
Okay.
National champion. I would have been a little disappointed if you didn't get that one, Jay, but
I know you
say
would
you
have.
definitely
Here we go.
you're back on
Hey.
on pace. You're only 1 behind
Where am
now.
I at now, Jay? With my
You're-
4 and 5? 5 and 6? What is it?
Something along those lines.
Okay.
I think 5 and 6 is probably the mark that we're at right now.
Okay. All right.
Yes. 5 and 6.
5
because
and 6.
Because we got 4 guys left.
Okay. Here we go.
4 guys left.
Here we go. Come on, Jay.
All right.
If I get a split, I finished 1 above.
And we're getting close to the gimme, but we got one more before we get there.
Okay.
Can you please tell me, Jay, Ellis Robinson the Fourth, where he from?
Oh man. Dang, Ellis. See, it's tough.
It's another.
Yeah, it's another tough one.
one.
Yeah, was he a receiver? He's played for Georgia. Oh yeah. Yeah,
Georgia.
yeah.
He's
Man, you know
played
what?
at Georgia.
You know what? You know what? I'm gonna go and say he is homegrown talent. Give me the state of Georgia. You're a Georgia boy.
Incorrect,
That's
Jay.
terrible. Oh,
Ellis Robinson the Fourth, another Florida boy, out of Bradenton, Florida, IMG Academy.
oh. Let's Florida let all this talent be. Why can't they just keep their own guys?
He was the number 2 recruit in the 2024 class, number 1 cornerback, and a Georgia commit. So that was
That was tough.
that was a tough one.
That's
that was
okay.
a tough one.
That was on me.
But we do have a couple of very notable names coming up that would be hard for you to miss.
Put
All
that
right.
pressure on.
No, that's okay because
I will unplug all the power.
trust me,
in
Jay.
this.
Trust me. If you
Okay.
miss this next one, I think we need to sell the company. I think we need to sell the company if
Okay.
you miss this next
All
one.
right.
So please tell me, Jay, with as much confidence as you would like,
Yeah.
Justin Williams, where he from?
My dog. I like it. Appreciate that, Computer Jesus and Jake, for reaching out and making sure that I got a couple of layups. He's my favorite Bulldog, by the way.
Okay.
But he's not from the state of Georgia.
That he is
Justin
not.
Williams is from the great state of Texas.
That he is. Out of Conroe, Texas, Oak Ridge High School. Number 5 recruit in the 2024 class. Number 1 linebacker and a Georgia commit. You're right back on it, Jay. You're right back on it. Say, if you missed that one,
Yes.
I think we would have to cut the recording right here.
We would.
We probably have to hang it up too. No more Protect You podcast from here on out if you miss Justin Williams. But it's all right. We're back on it.
We're back on it. We're back on pace.
You're one behind.
All right.
One behind on 500.
Yeah.
And with there being 15 guys, you're only going to be below or above 500.
I like that. I like that odd number. That's good, Jason. We got 2 more left.
We got 2 left.
All
Okay.
right. Here we go.
So please tell me, Jay, where is Julian Sayin from?
Oh,
Julian
man.
Sayin. Where he from?
Oh, man. Oh, geez. This one, oh, man. Okay. I remember talking to Derek about this young man because him and DJ kind of going back and forth with top quarterback in the nation. You know what?
I think it's states that produce a lot of great quarterbacks.
No. Don't do that. That's not fair. I think you're throwing me a curveball. Okay, Jake, I'm going to say it. I'm going to be mad at you if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Because I was going somewhere else. You gave me a little tip. California.
Is that your final guess?
Dog.
Where before we lock that one in, what was your original train of thought?
I just thought Georgia.
Okay.
But the Georgia doesn't produce quarterbacks like Cali. Cali produce surfers and they produce quarterbacks.
All right. So are you with full confidence? You locking in California?
Bro. You said produce great quarterbacks. That was my hint. I get a hint if I ask for it or not.
I don't know. With 2 out of the 3 Texas guys have also been quarterbacks.
That's true. Damn, he's not from here because I would have watched him play and I would have heard about him. He's not Texas. All right, let's go California. We're going with it.
California final guess, and you are correct, Jay. You are back to 500. Julian Sayin out of Carlsbad High School in Carlsbad, California. Number 6 recruit in the 2024 class. Number 1 quarterback. Only 1 spot ahead of DJ Lagway, who came in at 7 on the 24/7 composite.
Yeah.
Alabama commit, but due to movement in their quarterback room with the departure of Milroe for the NFL, and then a couple of other guys making their way up in the locker room.
Yeah,
he chose to transfer to Ohio State ahead this upcoming season.
I just thought we saw him in that was the Bama uniform? I thought it was a Georgia uniform.
That was Ohio State.
Oh, gotcha.
It was the silver helmet with the stripe.
That's right.
So
that's right.
So you're back on pace, Jay.
Here we go.
This is for all the marbles.
All
Whether
right.
you finish above or below 500 is dependent on your knowledge of Dominic McKinley. Where are he from, Jay?
Oh, crap. Okay. So Cali's off. I'm done with them. So he's going to either be Texas, Louisiana, or Georgia. Feels like a happy kid. Looks like he loves life. He's a tiger. The ears and the hair throw me off because now I'm down to Texas or Louisiana. Jalen has that big hair. Texas kid. Seems like it carries over.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Texas.
Texas is your final guess. Jay, congratulations. Below 500. Dominic McKinley from out of Lafayette, Louisiana.
Homegrown talent, finally.
You were that
So
close.
I was
You were
I narrowed it down.
bordering state.
I narrowed it down to those states.
But out of
Daggone.
Lafayette, Louisiana, the number 12 recruit in the 2024 class, and he is an LSU commit, and he is still with the Tigers heading into this next season. Jay, you were that close, man. You were that close.
We battled.
That you did.
We battled. The next game you and Computer Jesus create, I'm going to do much better than one below 500.
And if you want to go back to your argument of which states produce the best talent, on average, Florida had the highest ranked top talent.
Yeah.
In the 2024 class, they had Jeremiah Smith, who was the number 1 guy, Ellis Robinson the 4th, who was the number 2 guy, and then in 2023 they had Keon Keeley, who was number 2. So they had number 1, number 2, number 2.
Yeah.
Louisiana, on average, was the lowest. Arch Manning came in at number 1. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. Then you did have, bringing it down a little bit, not to say they aren't great talents, but Lance Hurd coming in at 16, and then Dominic McKinley at 12.
Okay. I mean, even though they came in last, I mean, based off of what we're judging it off of.
That's based off of
yeah.
every single one of these classes. The number 1 guy in the class did come from one of our 5 outlying states.
Okay.
So that wraps it up, Jay. What do you think of your first edition of Where He From?
Where He From? It was fun. It sucks to be 7 and 8. You know, I don't have that loser mentality, right? And I feel like I lost. However, it's okay. It was fun. I'm going to enjoy the moment. I'm sure the people watching, including yourself, had a blast at my expense. But hey, I look forward to competing next time.
It was a blast to have taken part of. It was a great thing to host and to follow in the steps of the great Ernie Johnson. You and I, we had this idea of who he played for.
Yeah.
From inside the NBA, but we put our own little twist on it. And so thanks for being a great sport as always, Jay. We appreciate your time. And thank you for being our willing guinea pig in this first round of the game show.
We pass it to somebody else next time. Get a guest in here and put them on a hot seat.
We bring in a guy, we bring in one of the clients, and we have them guess where their teammates are from.
That would be fun.
Yeah, we see a little something about that.
Yeah.
But as of right now, that does do it for the Protect You podcast, episode 2. Jay, any final thoughts before we send this one off?
Yeah, no, it was fun to be doing this, and I look forward to when we reach a bigger milestone, at episode 25 to episode 100 to 500 to 1,000, right? I mean, as long as the fans enjoy and want us to be on this and build this journey together, I mean, I'm here for it and excited to see, where everything will end up landing.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see it. In just 2 episodes, we've already started live streaming now on YouTube. It truly means the most to see all of that support pouring out from each and every one of you. That's going to do it for this episode of the Protect You podcast, though. I've been Jake Wilson alongside Jay Mickens. We'll catch you all in the next one. See you around.